All right, Chad. The reports of my demise have been greatly exaggerated.
Why would somebody think you're not alive still?
I don't know. Yeah, this is only gonna be an hour show because I want to go ahead. I'm just staying in Alabama, but I got to get on the road. I've already done all my shipping this morning. I feel like I'm so accomplished, and it's only 8 o'clock.
It feels good when you do things when you first wake up. It's nice.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I've been working on is getting up, and I don't sleep past 6 much anymore. Yesterday was the exception for the first time in a long time. But so I've been trying to get up, plan today and get something started, and because there's no distractions. The one thing I can tell you from 6 to 8 is everybody is so busy trying to get kids out the door, trying to get dressed, trying to beat traffic to their 9 to 5 or whatever. Man, there's literally any time you can spend in that kind of time. There's no distractions. Morning, Doug. Javis, Eric, Chad, flipping good. Who else? We missed anybody else?
Yeah,
and the great unknown lag.
Who gave Lag a wrench?
Hey, good morning, Tom. I did one day. I was feeling wild and crazy and gave Lag a wrench.
Holy Lord!
Hey, that's a good thing. I don't care when they come, cha-chings, that you don't turn down cha-chings, even if you finish shipping. So did the book Monday night, Atomic Habits. If you have not read Atomic Habits, it really is, and that's a lot of the things I'm trying to slowly build. Because he talks about habit stacking and make a list of all your habits and where you've got good ones. Where you can pair up something like as soon as if you want to do your shipping early in the morning, you say, after I make my morning coffee, I print out my shipping list. I print out my shipping invoices. Do something, to stack it to where something's going to happen every day, to where you can make it easier to add in a new habit because you tie it to it. He gives some great examples in the book, and one he talks about he wants to meditate in the evenings or whatever before he goes to bed. So when he makes his bed up in the morning, he puts his journal or whatever on his pillow. So before he goes to, it'll be there. It does things like that to trigger. So man, it's an outstanding book. It's one that I've got in my calendar to do again, July 15th. You couldn't use a real wrench to save your life. That's awesome. And so the next book we'll do the E-Myth Revisited. I've been searching around, and that book keeps coming up and up and up. So the E-Myth Revisited. By Michael Gerber. And it's all about small businesses, why small businesses don't work and what to do about it is the subtitle of the E-Myth Revisited. So since we all, for the most part, run small businesses, I'm really in that mindset this year of really making that part of the business really work. And so tying systems and knowledge on that side of the business. What else you got to do? It's about to slow down, and you're not going to be shipping, and you're not going to have sales, so you might as well learn. May I be the first to welcome you to the Summer Slowdown. With Memorial Day weekend coming up, I think that's the official kickoff of the Summer Slowdown. Isn't that right, Ty?
That's what I heard.
Around here, it's the official kickoff of yard sale season. So,
yeah. So Bob T wants to know: are you done with?
No, I'm not done. I'm taking a break. It's just because I got so many other things I'm doing. It's hard to run a show. Yeah. And I don't know what happened with Pat. So I mean,
he was pretty suspended.
Yeah, Pat D's put out a video where Pat D's got he was selling banned items. I mean,
Well, I think and I know he picked up a thing of pepper spray. I don't know, Dollar General stuff. It was not. And as soon as he picked it up, I'm like, "Oh no, Pat!" But I didn't say anything because he's already got it for sale. Well, there's nothing you can do. And then somebody else in the chat said something,
Ugh.
and they think that might be or he thinks that might be what got him.
yeah, I mean, when in doubt, read the rules. I'm telling you right now,
I would definitely familiarize myself.
There's a list of prohibited items, and they're not just because you don't think they're dangerous or whatever. Does I mean, just look at the knife policy on a lot of these platforms. There's nothing wrong with knives, but
you can't sell lighters on whatnot, for example, unless they have no fluid in them.
Unless they have no fluid in them, and that should be everywhere because it is transport and that kind of stuff is a danger.
So you got to. I would sit down if you want to sell on that platform or any platform, and they all have a list of banned items. I'd look at them, and
but
if it's anything close to that item,
in eBay's case, they just take down the listing and say you can't sell this. They don't necessarily ban you.
Well, he sold some over-the-counter medicines; those are banned on whatnot.
Yeah, this wasn't the first. Yeah, this wasn't the first one. He's a multiple offender.
Yes.
Oh no.
Pat's in whatnot jail now. I hope he gets out.
He doesn't know if it's permanent or if it's
this. I tried to list this gun stock on eBay, and it's okay to sell gun stocks as long as they're for like a shotgun or a hunting rifle. But this, I didn't know it, but I guess it's for like an AR or something. So they took it down.
Facebook.
That's for the scary gun. And there's so much lies out there about an AR-15. You've seen these damn politicians come up and go, "It's a weapon of war. It was designed for." It was not. It was never designed for. It was always for individual use. I mean the lies of the and it's AR assault rifle. No, that's an Armalite rifle. You idiots.
I looked this up on. I did comps on eBay before I listed it, and there were 2 sold for $50 each. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna list mine. No, you can't sell that. Like, how can they sell it and I can't?
Well, yeah, I said that's one of my biggest problems with the platforms is I don't mind the rules. eBay, Amazon, Mercari, Poshmark, whoever, set your rules up. That is absolutely fine. I am all for your rules. Tell us what your rules are. I'll stay right there. But the problem is you don't apply the rules to everybody.
Or they don't tell you the rules before.
Go look at CPAP machines and all the CPAP shit that's been sold. But if I list something, I'll get. Well, go look at all the stuff that's being sold as expiration dates that's expired. If I try to list it, I get a warning within 30 minutes. But yet. There's plenty of it up there. It stays up there till it's sold, and they don't. Here's another good example. All my trouble with the gatings and stuff on Amazon in the last couple of weeks. There's, why is something being done to me when I have nothing in my account or performance that's not being done to everybody else? And go, oh, Beard, they're not just doing it to you. They're leaving people on some of these brands that have got less than 2 feedback. Don't tell me. That these people I
think they just throw. It's like casting seeds. They throw this shit out, and wherever it lands, that's it.
That's my biggest problem. Is I honestly don't care what so Chad, I understand that CPAP machines have exemptions. You can sell parts of the mask. You can't sell the whole mask, but you can't sell the machine itself. I know the rules. But that doesn't mean that, if I put a hose up, they won't. And there are certain hoses, like you can't sell a heated hose. I know the rules, but that doesn't mean they're not going to pull me down in error. There's all kinds of stuff that happens in error that you go, one of the things that I used to rant about a lot, I don't know anymore, is price gouging. Folks, honestly, just let's say here that there's no such thing as price gouging. There is absolutely no such thing as price gouging. Price gouging is a term that was invented by whiners who don't want to pay too much. Are there people in times of need and emergency that might take advantage of somebody? Absolutely. But if you've ever lived in one of these areas, you understand that once it's done, the community takes it out on these people and runs them out of business. So the market takes care of this, folks. There is no such thing as price gouging. Oh, you're not entitled to my product at a price that you say that you, oh my God, I can't afford $20. I only want to pay 10. You're price gouging. I should be able to, I'm entitled to your product at $10. No, the fuck you're not. It's as simple as that.
100%.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
It just, the word gouging gives a certain
Oh yeah, I mean
dark feel to that statement when that's not really.
It's this entitlement that of society that we live in, and these people that always need to be protected from their stupidity and from their all their you all know them. Nothing ever happens. That nothing's ever their fault. Everything always happens to them, even though they make the worst decisions in the world, and you're a product of your decisions, good or bad. But nothing, it's never their fault. It's
I still got 2 hand sanitizer dispensers over there, brand new in the package. Nope, can't sell those. Still,
and that's a great one. So
past COVID,
they said masks didn't work. Don't worry about them. And we sold a bunch of masks, and then they come back and said everybody has to wear a mask, which still don't work. And now you go from, just think about the lies in mask in general and how mask went. The government laid it out that mask didn't work. You didn't need mask. We're going to get through. And, and then as they took control and took advantage of every single one of us, whether you want to believe it or not, what the lockdowns did and who was suffering the most with lockdowns, these schools we locked down of the children that were the least acceptable of all this. They should have been in school anyway. And then they created an artificial market by making everybody wear a mask. For God's sakes, you could take your old underwear and put it across your face, and that was supposed to protect you from a virus that was so deadly it was going to kill the world. Man, give me a break, these fucking idiots. And there are still people today that wear masks in cars.
There's a kid at Walmart every day. 2 guys. One I actually know personally. Wear a mask every day. Why? I haven't figured it out yet. They're not sick.
Yeah, a friend of mine was at a concert in Japan, and I swear half of the people there in that mosh pit had masks on.
I'm telling you,
in a mosh pit.
Well, the far east cultures wear masks for some reason. Whatever.
Yeah, they always have. Yeah, especially Japan and China.
But
look at hand sanitizer, for example.
But
they wouldn't even let us sell that. How much is so much out there? You can't even give that stuff away anymore.
Tom got to sell his. How come mine got taken down? What the hell, eBay?
So here's what happens. But the market responds. As hand sanitizer got harder to find and got more expensive, what happened? These alcohol companies and stuff, turned to making it, and you can buy big bottles of stuff, and the price dropped immediately. And it didn't need big tech coming in with eBay and Amazon going, the guy in Tennessee who had a garage full of hand sanitizer, and they went after that guy like it was the end of the world. Who is to say what you do with your money? Should we now outlaw Corvettes? Should we go now outlaw old Corvettes and go arrest the president of the United States because he's got a Corvette in his garage that's full of classified documents? Joe, you're no longer allowed to have a Corvette. We're going to put you in jail for that. If you want to fill your garage up with hand sanitizer, so be it. There should be nothing out there that says that you can't fill your entire garage up with hand sanitizer.
We're going to be seeing hand sanitizer at yard sales and thrift stores for about 30 more years until it's gone. It's crazy how much is out there.
So Paul Rose has announced that he is an innovator. His summer slowdown has happened early, so he's happy to announce that. That's I've had good sales the last few days. I've been very fortunate. I've also been listening more, so
I'm doing well as a part-timer,
The problem is common sense is not common anymore. Nobody thinks for themselves. You're not trained to analyze and think. So many people just whatever the talking heads, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, whatever the talking heads that you listen to tell you, you're going, you're walking like zombies. Nobody thinks these things through. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, the gloves and the mat, all that crazy stuff. None of that. The best thing you could have done was wash your hands and not touch your face. Those are the two proven things that would work. Is, you know, and all the look at all the amount of money we spent on plexiglass. That's still some places you can still find. And the 6-foot rule. You know how they came up with the 6-foot rule? They made that shit up because it sounded good, and everybody bought a hook, line, and sinker. All these arrows and damn in stores and spots where you couldn't stand, and all this, and the world was saved by a piece of plastic in front of you. It's the most irritating thing, and everyone just bought it. I mean, some of everybody. I didn't buy it. I went to 14 states during the pandemic because I didn't care. But anyway,
we traveled a bit ourselves.
You know how much easier it is when everybody was too scared to drive their car? You know how easy that was to get wherever you wanted to go? That's the only thing I miss about the pandemic. There was no traffic. You could drive wherever you wanted to. The 6-foot rule. But it's just maddening that the rules, are not applied to everyone. It's insane that these platforms get away with this and treat, we all sign the same user agreements. We're all supposed to be held to the same rules. And yet these platforms somehow have not figured out. But yet if you do step over one of the rules and they hold you accountable, but not somebody else, they have no problem bringing ban hammers against you and everything else.
While these things are happening. So for somebody like Pat, who's been, caught once selling something banned, now he's on a list. Same with eBay. I know it because I've tried. I was on a list for a long time for something. I can't remember what it was, an over-the-counter or something I sold. And every time I listed anything even close to that, I got a message from eBay. So once you get on that list, man.
You know what the worst penalty you can find on eBay? They had what was called they developed what was called a price gouging list. And so if a customer turns you in for price gouging, get this now, if an eBay customer was pissed off at the price you were charging for something and reported your item as price gouging, you got put on a list, and all of a sudden you could not sell items. You couldn't use certain keywords in your title. That's how they supposedly kept you from selling certain items. You know how long that lasted? They don't know either because there's no fucking end to it. That list still exists, and if you were ever put on it, because I met those people when I was in Vegas, when I spent an hour banging my head against the wall trying to explain to eBay reps that a discontinued item had more value and explain economics. That's the insane part, that we as sellers, try to figure out markets. We try to figure out demand. We try to figure out where the price is. We try to figure out market, all the things that we have to do as business owners to sell our wares on these platforms. And you've got these people that run these platforms that couldn't dig their way out of an economic. They couldn't tell you supply, demand, from a hole in the ground. And so they have they're just arbitrarily doing these things, and they have no idea how it affects business and how it affects markets. They're just throwing stuff up. I mean, price and proof and point is, Macari. Why would you force the seller that much more, the buyer that much more fees? You think if you've got low traffic, you think that's going to help? Let's charge the buyer more money. That's a winning strategy.
I don't see that one sticking around too long. I think those quietly but slowly go back.
Eric, nobody will talk about this stuff. I'll talk about it. I don't care what it does. I really don't care. Morning, Josh. How's Canada, eh? Or are you an American yet? Have you crossed the border into? Josh, that's what I want to know, Josh. You can answer this question. When you cross the border each morning, do you lose the Canada accent just long enough to get back across? So you don't say and all that stuff, and then when you go back over, do you pick up being Canadian? I've always wondered that. Chris, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. But it is the degreasing.
Yeah.
But it's exceedingly frustrating to deal with these platforms that supposedly hold you to a standard, which they don't hold the next seller to. It is. So I did. I sold a pair. I think on Monday night during the show, during the book, I sold a pair of sunglasses. The very next morning, the person comes up and goes, "The person I was buying these for didn't like the style. Is it too late to cancel?" You know, my $65. So what do you do? I haven't shipped them. I haven't done anything. Do you cancel or do you send them and force that person to wear the sunglasses?
Cancel.
Steve cancel.
Right?
What about that? How many of y'all forced to sell? How many of y'all cancel?
It's amazing to me going on some of these Facebook groups how many people actually force the sale.
That's what I want to see in the chat because it is insane to how many people forced to sell.
We want you to be honest, though.
He said it slips out. Whether the beauty out. Yeah, that's definitely. You start talking like that, Josh. You can't hide. You can be wearing an American flag and say it like that, and we know.
Did y'all see the word Craigslist Hunter? He got a message from a foreign buyer saying, "I'd like to buy your item for $100," and he sent them a message saying, "I'll sell it to you for $125," and all of a sudden that item sold for $124.95. He never made an offer. He just said in a message, "I will sell it for $125."
If y'all think I'm angry this morning, look at this man. He looked really angry this morning.
I'm pissed off about
So
it.
you're saying that somehow eBay made him sell it for less than he wanted.
Apparently AI or something happened that picked up on it and sent the buyer an offer.
So let's see.
That is weird.
And it wasn't the exact amount. He said, I will sell it for $125. He showed the message. And the buyer bought it for $124.99, which, I mean, he was happy with the sale, but
same
how
buyer.
did that happen?
So everyone but the Cajun was correct. The Cajun said ship it out, force the sale. That's so wrong. Cancel is correct. Because what happened this morning? I wake up and it sold again. I hadn't lost anything. I hit cancel. If the item sold in 24 hours with the listing, it sold again 24 hours with the listing.
I've had an uptick in cancellations lately, but usually that item, if it's sold quickly anyway, it's going to sell quickly again. So I don't care.
So the reason I've seen people say the returns are up, cancellations are up, those kind of things. Remember, people are going to have regret a little bit whenever money gets tight, and money's really tight right now for tons and tons of people. We're getting squeezed everywhere. They're gonna have regrets. They're gonna be a little more critical of the things they buy, all these things, and you've got to still make the right decision for the customer. It is not a time. I don't want to tie up those sunglasses. What happens if they get mad because these are not scratched or anything? These are really nice. They're $65 sunglasses that I've got $3 in. $3.
Kent says he ships so fast that it's already kind of sent out before, I've decided lately that because I usually do that. As soon as it sells, I'm in the office anyway. Why not ship it? But
no, so Kent, in this example, Kent, I'm live on the show. They sell at 8:30 at night. I get up I'm out here at 7:30 yesterday morning, and I already have a message waiting for a cancel. So there was no time in between. There was nothing. They asked for the cancel before I can even print an invoice or anything. So in this case,
I give it a full 12 hours after the purchase anymore. I don't ship right away anymore. I'm not going to ship it till the next day anyway. So
I mean, I ship fast. I woke up this morning; they were sold overnight. They're already shipped right now. So I mean, they're gonna go out. But even then,
I'd cancel.
I would still go over there and cancel the label and cancel the sale.
Yeah. If
Because-
if it hasn't got to the post office yet, yes. It sucks because then you got to wait for the label money, and although you shouldn't be worried about that if you're selling enough.
Kathleen, I've been saying that for I think I was a little ahead of the curve. I think you're 100% correct. I think there's more value in used items right now. 'Cause I don't know. I never even heard these sunglasses before. Maybe y'all can tell me if I sold them too cheap. I never even heard the guy's name.
What is it?
The people had nice. I'm going right now. The people had nice stuff, and the sunglasses were all $3 each. And I'm like, I'm gonna run into their William Painter sunglasses, titanium polarized. Ego is the enemy. Black square sunglasses. I never heard of them before.
William who?
William Painter.
Payner.
Painter, like paint.
Oh,
Painter.
painter.
Never heard of
I've
them.
never heard of those. So
Yeah.
Damn, they go for some of these go. These Sloan titanium polarized sunglasses are listed for $199 on Amazon.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is a different style. Sloan is a different. Mine were called Ego is the enemy or something. Is the style. Each style has a name like that.
Okay.
So Tom, I did do research. There was none listed. None. Somebody scammed you out of an ice machine.
Let me tell you about that fucking ice machine. Pardon my French.
oh, I don't know the
so
story.
Sorry.
I don't know the story, so start
So
from the
sorry
beginning.
for using the F word. Roberta got a phone call yesterday from Amazon saying that they would like for us to return the item, that it did not apply to the A to Z because they didn't ship it. Because Amazon it was not fulfilled by Amazon.
Okay.
I knew that was coming. That's what I asked you. That's why I said when that happened that Amazon doesn't have the authority to, unless they want to give the money out freely. They have to honor the seller's return policy.
Well, we've got a nice machine that's going to our church because I'm not paying $90 to ship that thing back just to get $35, $40 back.
Mm-mm.
So,
however, there are people out there who will do that. I give free returns on eBay, Amazon, whatever. And people will somehow not use the label I give them and spend all this money on a priority label at the post office and send it back to me sometimes. It's insane.
And they didn't even give us eBay, the Amazon UPS shipping prices. So we're just going to keep it and donate it to our church. And I'm not buying anything else from Amazon.
Okay, so Harlan and I had this joke.
Wait a minute. Because I don't buy from Amazon. Roberta always plays Amazon.
Look at the ratings of the seller if you're buying from a third party. That's how it,
Oh, geez. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I can't be the only one that'll buy stuff at yard sales if it's cheap and not look it up. Those sunglasses, I just $3 with $3. Living life on the edge.
Do it all the time.
They got laid up there. They're selling a GoPro. They were selling a pair of over-the-ear headphones. All the stuff they had was out there was nicer stuff. And they had 3 pairs of sunglasses, and they all had cases with the names and everything on. These weren't like generic sunglasses. And so you can, for $3, I bought them to run to the auction. So here's what $3. So here's how it works: $3 or less. If I get a $5 bid at the auction, I make 50 cents. So I can buy anything pretty free for $3, thinking if I get one bid at the auction, no big deal. I walk away from it with 50 cents and my money back. And so when I got home and I'm sitting here getting stuff ready to go to the auction, I'm like, I'm gonna look up these damn sunglasses. And I saw that there were some that were like 199 and a lot of used ones in the 60, 70 range. I'm like, I'm gonna throw these on eBay and see what happens. And they sold. So, you know, I buy a lot of stuff for $3 or less, $5 or less that I know the auction will get rid of it just to take a chance on. But I do look up a ton of stuff. Hey, good morning, Basset Noodle.
You can always wear those sunglasses. If they don't sell, you or
be styling.
your son.
Johnny said, I tried them on. Johnny said that I didn't have a nose big enough for those glasses.
Okay. Jacob, that's his name.
Honest to God, that's what she said. And y'all know what I deal with on a daily basis. Yeah, anybody who's ever met Johnny knows she said that.
Johnny's a sweet woman. She would
You
never
look
say
like a
anything
Blues
bad about
Brothers
anybody.
with those glasses on.
You're right. This is the same person who posted on. She found something on one of these reels. Some guy lecture, and I think he was actually at like a city council meeting, trying to get them to make an informal rule that people couldn't call them boneless wings because it was not, there was no such thing as boneless wings. And she tagged me and she's like, "This sounds just like you." And I'm like, the ladies on Tuesday night, they do not ask me when I say I want however many wings. They don't say, "Do I want boneless or bone in?" Because I've already told them that I don't eat chicken nuggets for adults.
Did you look at that Facebook post that I shared with you? Like last night about the British and their new ruling on COVID.
How did you share it with me? I don't see it.
I put it on Facebook. I just Scott Zilke, look at this. So normally it shows up like so and so mentioned you in a post. Anyway, you need to look at that. Our family across the
okay. Batshit bonkers Britain. Okay, I'll look at it.
Yeah, that's it. You were talking about they had was the GoPro, was it cheap?
It was a GoPro 4, so I wasn't interested.
Okay, so there's one of the gamers that I watch. He's got he buys GoPros, cheap. He lives in Florida, so he buys GoPros really cheap down there, and he's got cameras set up all over the place. He says, "I've got to average about $10 in these cameras."
If it had been a 5, I'd have been interested in it because it's a big change from the 4 to the 5.
But he's got these things set up so he can get different views. And he said, they're just so cheap. What are you eating? Cheese?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, cheese. It's the only snack I have out here, so I'm trying not to be bad. But it's crazy out there, folks. And I'm telling you, by the end of this year, and it's going to get more cutthroat, and the customers are going to be crazier. Your competition is going to be crazier. And if you're not paying attention, especially the prices as we go through the next few quarters, it can be as simple as people are going to be so chintzy that it's even a couple cents. It's already that bad on Amazon. You'll be out of the buy box by a penny and not sell one while your competition sells hundreds. That's why Amazon is so different, and the need for a repricer is so great. But on eBay, you're doing a lot of manual repricing. You'd be amazed how little, when somebody, right now most people use best match, but I'm telling you, as the prices and stuff gets more sensitive and more sensitive, they're going to search by lowest price, sort by lowest price.
So what do you suggest, Scott, on pricing your stuff with the economy?
Pay attention to your business. I'm not saying don't price at market, but I'm But you got people like me. Somebody goes, maybe I undersold those $65 sunglasses. I got $3 in them. I don't care. I'm perfectly happy with flipping $3 into 65 that I bought on Saturday that I sold twice this week. I buy a lot of things at yard sales, and the going price, the lowest one on there will be $199. I'm like, dude, I got $10 in this. I'll take 150. I don't care.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Do you just go ahead and look at what things are going for and make yourself a good profit, but still stay under everybody else and go ahead and flip it while people's got money to spend? Because I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Yep. I think people are going to start running out of money. Because even though, they're saying the economy's picking up, I don't see how it is when we've got 2 McDonald's shutting down here in Charlotte. And, businesses are laying off around here. And that's got to be just not Charlotte.
What's up, Jake?
Hey.
So what time are you meeting the police to kick them out?
No, I'm supposed to be resting today. I had a little nose procedure done yesterday, so they can stay another few days.
I was about to say, did you hurt yourself cutting twig?
No, I've had nosebleeds off and on for the past couple of years, and so they finally said we're gonna cauterize it.
I used to get them all the time. I never did get the cauterization done, but for some reason I don't get them anymore.
So Meg, they all work about the same for books. I use Aura. That's the one that I'm an affiliate with. It's a little more on the expensive side, but it's got some AI stuff that, if you don't have a repricer, I know this is bad. I don't have a link to it, but try out one of the, like a Be Cool. It goes to the bottom a little faster than some of the other ones, but it's way better than none. It's way better than Amazon's. That would
be cool.
That would be my suggestion. As you learn them, and as if you want different features, maybe step up to an Aura or some of the others that are a little more expensive. But it's I think that somebody up, I think it might have been Bassin or somebody said that some of these the third and fourth quarters there's going to be less money for people that are going to put out there, and so these retailers are going to be hyper aggressive. They're going to do sales. They're going to throw everything at us. And so people they look at it and go, but I don't understand why my stuff on eBay and Amazon is not selling. And they never consider the fact that there's a full retail market of all these stores that are working just as hard for that same dollar, as not everybody is online. And if there is a convenience factor. If they can find a similar price online and not have to wait, like I did for 9 days for a key, they will pay a touch more to get it in person. That is not gone anywhere. I think people. That's why I've always thought Walmart had one of the bigger advantages, and if they ever got Walmart.com really going, is to be able to, because they've got everything, the pickup and the immediacy, and the delivery network from these stores that are already built out within whatever the figure is, they're within within 5 or 6 miles or whatever it is. 90% of the country is within a Walmart.
10. I think it's 10 miles. I think
10 miles, whatever it is. It's something crazy.
I've mentioned the friend of mine that's the manager of a super Walmart. He said, I was talking to him last night, and I said, how's business been? And he said, it's the non-grocery section of the store. It's kind of slowed down. He said the grocery portion of it is what's keeping him in the bonus zone, because people are going to buy groceries. They not necessarily going to buy the $249 laptop and stuff like that.
And it's so Meg, that is the answer. That is you've got to make your items available in more places. Give yourself more of a chance to sell things. It just means that you've made your life a little more complicated by adding another platform, but it's absolutely essential that you pay attention, especially the rest of this year and for the foreseeable future, because price and your competition are going to be so dominant. Just matching a brick and mortar price, might not be good enough. That person, I'm driving by there anyway. I'll just stop and get it. There's a big segment of people that don't want to wait for anything. But there's also a big segment that shop on Amazon that pay big prices, that pay for convenience. And so you've got to understand who your customer is and who's most likely to buy the things you're selling. I mean, it's stuff that you've never considered before. It's just, just throw it up on eBay or Amazon. They don't sell. Yeah. Basket Doodle has given us a case on how to manipulate a browser.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I will generally pay a little more just to buy it on Amazon and not have to go chase it, unless I know exactly where it is and I'm sure they have it in stock.
Unless it's at Lowe's, then you'll go to Lowe's because
that's right.
You go to Lowe's every day.
Pretty much.
Well,
he pulls in the parking lot. He pulls in the parking lot. They have somebody come open his door. He goes there so much. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm at Lowe's." Oh, I'm at Lowe's.
Yeah, and my other favorite place, Pals.
Yeah,
Pals. Can I have a large Shadowrun light fry salt and a large Dr. Nuff extra peachy light ice.
What's a Dr. Nuff?
Extra.
Yeah, Bassin, I think you're 100% correct. There is a
672. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's so much changing in e-commerce and with all the platforms that we see that it's the old duck view. We most people who are sellers don't pay enough attention, and they see the duck on the lake. They don't see the feet kicking like crazy underneath, and that's really what's happening. As these platforms try to one up each other, they try to stay more relevant. They try to attract more customers and better sellers and make it where their stuff is seen better. But it's always, people don't pay attention and they put up the same old stuff and they try the same old thing, and they're mad as hell that eBay is not selling their stuff anymore. It's frustrating. They go, did you ever think about doing anything other than listen 100 shirts today from the bins, but the last one sold at $19.99. I'm entitled to $19.99 or whatever the toy is. God forbid you go buy something on Walmart, a toy on Walmart clearance right now. Amazon is so damn ruthless. They are matching Walmart's clearance price. Folks, go to Walmart and scan some of the toys if you're an Amazon seller, just to see how brutal the competition is.
Yep.
If Amazon is a seller of the item, they are matching Walmart clearance.
A lot of the times, Amazon's lower than Walmart clearance, to be honest. Because when I'm bored during the day, I'll go in and scan some clearance just to see if there's any. And I haven't found anything good to sell in a while because you can't sell it on Amazon. It's too cheap.
It's amazing that the
Walmart,
price advantage.
Walmart's clearance hasn't been all that swift. I mean, they have a lot of it, but their markdown to clearance is not.
No, they've changed something. They've changed something because it's not what it used to be. There's still good deals. I mean, RG clearance, you'll find stuff all the time, but
right.
I'm not going to sit there and go through the whole entire store just to find something.
So that's why my answer is make me better. Make me better. Work on my atomic habits, work on systems, work on me as a better business person, me as more organized, me as more efficient, as a small business owner and selling these products in order to maintain. And so So what part of that's in that process? I've got to reprice on Amazon, so I don't worry about the price of, but my eBay items, I need to effectively keep an eye on my eBay items. I need to promote most of my items, not at their crazy percentages, but enough that it gets a little more look-sees. I need to use all these things. I mean, you need to send offers. You need I need to make sure that I build correct listings with all the item specifics so that I'm included in every single search that I can be included in. It's not just throw it up there anymore. It's actually, you have to know what you're doing. And the one thing that's been so easy about eBay, somebody go, if I was going to start reselling today, where would you go? You tell them the easy answer would just be, look at stuff around your home, stuff that you're going to put in a yard sale, list it on eBay and see what sells and see how pricing. But you now have to start and let them understand that, that easy on eBay listing you were just making ain't no easy anymore. If you don't put enough information in that listing, it's never going to be seen. And so the barrier to entry is not dollars anymore on eBay. The barrier to entry on eBay is becoming knowledge. It's 100% knowledge. You've got to understand what works on a platform, how to list, how to, look at the crazy pictures that people are using of AI and the backgrounds and making pictures pop out and all this crazy. You've got some people out there that are extreme competitors and they are getting sales. And I think people miss that part.
I think you're right, Brenda. She says, I'm telling you, it's a lot easier to build houses and build and sell houses. Takes a lot more money to get into that, but
it's apartments around here, man. The apartments are absolutely amazing. How many apartments are going up? And I don't know these apartments start at $2,000 for 2-bedroom. They can't qualify for a mortgage, but you'll give them a $2,000 apartment at least. Makes no sense. Who is paying for these apartments?
It's I don't understand how. Well, first of all, our municipal governments are wanting to get into the Detroit good times, apartments, just big brick buildings that's 10 stories tall and it's nothing but apartments. And I mean, that's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting high density in the city. So that's where all the apartments are coming from. Because
they're not building the apartments out here.
The what?
I live 8 miles out of town. They're not building apartments out here. They're still building, but you know what they are building, which is, there's 2 of these communities out here, and there's several of them in Huntsville. They're building these small little bitty houses. They're not quite duplexes, but they're the same size as a duplex, but they're on top of each other.
Right.
And their communities, they're all lease based. The company owns the whole community. They build the community, they own the community, and they lease out the houses like apartments. So they're going after a different market, and they're putting in where a single family home would be on, like, say 4/10 of an acre. They're putting 2 houses on that 4/10, and so they are, and then they are leasing. So these, one will be a short house, and then another will be a 2-story. But I mean, for me, they remind me of shotgun houses. What the old right. South, or they'll term it. You could shoot a shotgun through the front door and go out the back door. The houses that were just straight back. That's what they look like.
There's a place like a community down in Myrtle Beach like that. They bought a big piece of land and they built roads in it and they started building houses, but they're not individually. They're, like you said, they're not individually deeded lots. So basically, it's a trailer park with houses, is what it is. They own all the land, they all own all the houses. They rent out the houses. They're not.
Yeah, and so they're like apartments, but they're not, Martha, they're not duplexes. So Harlan and I, we were doing some yard sales, and we're like, those are some. We went in this one neighborhood, and it was in a very nicer area of town, and they were duplexes, but they were 4 sets, so they were groups of 4. So they had 4 together, and but they were full brick, and they all had garages, and they were really nice looking. but you get a lot more per lot. You double the amount of houses that you put in there.
We don't have any building going on in my town, so yeah.
Because nobody wants to live there. What the hell?
It's unfortunate but true. Great place to live, but people don't see it. I'm okay with that.
Well, then don't tell them then.
We have a lot of people in this town who won't come off of land, and they're keeping it for some who knows why.
Because they're
so
not
we can't build, like the interstate. We can't build it by the interstate because one guy owns all that land and he won't come off of it. So it keeps this town depressed, But he's about to die soon. He's old.
And his children will sell the hell out of it.
Yeah, his children don't want any of it. So why he kept that land all these years, I don't know. He bought it all up, and that was that.
So what are you calling a working store building, Josh? Is that they're also building? I guess that there are a lot of these communities that have they have stores on the bottom floor and have condos above them. Is that what you're talking about? Because there's a couple of those here. There's a couple of those here too that, it's got all kinds of restaurants and shops and everything in it, and then everything above it apartments or condos or something.
Right. We have a
community. One of the things I've seen pop up around here and some of the bigger cities too is they'll turn some of these older shopping centers or malls that into partially for storage, but partially for office for whether that might be a contractor or a reseller or whatever, but they actually have a physical office with air conditioning and then a large amount of storage.
Yeah, I had one of those in Wilmington, and it was amazing. Because at the front of it was an office. You walked into the door. It was a nice room, had a bathroom, and then there was a second door. You walked to the back, and it was like 40 by 40 in the back. It was huge. It was really big in the back.
Our old
had a roll up door in the back where I drove the van in and unloaded everything. That was a great setup in Wilmington. I wish I had that again. That was very nice.
The way they're doing them here is they're putting a roll door on the front and a loading dock with a roll door in the back.
Wow. Our old Kmart turned into one of those. It's actually more boat and car storage, but you can drive right in. They got a nice air conditioned office up front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the thing to be getting into if you're going to be getting into, because all these new subdivisions that are quarter-acre lots with half-acre houses on them. The HOA won't let you park your RV. They won't let you park your $150,000 RV in your driveway because it takes away from the neighborhood. People have got to have some place to park this stuff.
Can I ask why the hell anybody would live in an HOA neighborhood? I would not. Screw that.
I'm out.
That
was the one thing when we moved here and rented the house here for a year. That's that neighborhood's well up kept and no HOA. That was one of the big things, and we liked the area. We're like, you know what? We'll just see if we can find a house in this neighborhood, and we happened to find one.
We imagine living in a neighborhood where my neighbors get to say what I can do.
We rented 204. We bought 262.
You were talking about malls. One of the things they're doing down here in South Carolina is the smaller towns where they had malls, and malls are on their way out. A lot of the county governments have bought them, and they have moved everything because the counties are growing. They have moved everything into them, like where the Belks building is now the water, the utilities department.
Good idea.
It's
ours became a casino.
It's all under one roof if they do it that way.
Yeah, everything is one. And where the mall is, one of them where the mall part, the mall part from inside of the mall was, they've got people have rented shops.
Mm-hmm.
The dry cleaners has a pickup place there, so people can just on their lunch hour they can just run over there and drop off their dry cleaning or whatnot. So it's pretty. I mean, that's a pretty good.
Some malls are still pretty good. The one that we're in Erie, it's called the Mill Creek Mall. That place is booming all the time.
Because it's always cold.
Well, no, I mean it just became a lifestyle in this area
Yeah.
to go to the
But I
mall.
think
And people are still.
But I do think it's related to the climate, though. You don't see very many malls in the mid, but you see them like far south where it's super hot and always muggy and always humid, or the far north where it's always cold.
Right.
But over here, the one that in Ashtabula, Ohio, where I live, it's a dead mall. You know, there's things in there, but nobody ever goes to it. There's a medical office in there now. The pallet guy that I bought from, he's got a big space in there.
So Larry,
That's
you did
about
it
it.
wrong. Larry said he's stuck at his HOA because of a low interest rate. I have a low interest rate and no HOA.
I
I have a low interest rate, no HOA.
I like my interest rate so far.
The good thing about where I live is when
love
I moved here, properties were super cheap. This house, and it's a big house, $70,000, and I didn't have to do anything to it, you know. And my payments are like $560 a month or something. It's cheap.
All right, we got 5 minutes left. Anybody want me to rant about anything else in the next 5 minutes? I got to go buy stuff.
We do too, basket. And
I got to get some breakfast. I got to get some breakfast and hit the road.
I got my breakfast.
You know what? You better watch it, Jake, because one of these days you're going to watch. Because you're thin now. You're going to get up one morning and look in the window in the mirror, and you're going to go, "Where the hell did all this weight come from?"
Well, I can look at my siblings. I can look at my family, and also I ain't scared.
My mom is skinny as a rail. My dad wasn't though, but
Okay,
I was skinny. I was skinny all my life.
Mostly healthy.
Yeah, Chassis, we're 9
Except
or
for
10
Dave.
years. We refinanced. We're 9 or 10 years. I think it's 10 years. But I'm definitely going to the car payment when it's over. I make the payment today. It'll be down to I think 3 or 4 payments. We're going to start putting that payment towards the mortgage.
We're doing the same thing in October. Her car payment will be done. She's actually paying extra now just to get it done sooner. And
yeah, we are.
We'll put that payment towards maybe the house payment or my car, and that way that payment will start getting paid off faster.
Yeah, I want to be done with the house by the time I'm 60. I'm 55 now. I like to finish.
Same here. That's our plan. We don't owe a ton. We owe about 50 still on this house, and
yeah, we have 4 payments.
We want
left
it done in 2 years.
4 payments left on the car.
I don't mind a house payment. It is what it is, but we want to get that gone. That's our next adventure.
So Jabez said hit the like button. Yep. If you want me to rant next week, if I don't get 50 likes on this video, I will cancel the show next week.
There's 103 people watching right now.
By the way,
everybody take a second and hit that like button.
Nobody hit it. They're like, we don't want to listen to this bastard next week. Nobody hit the like button.
Kent says 50 in 2 years, which is what I owe on my house, is easy, and I agree with him. We did it with the credit card debt. We can do it with the house.
See, Jake is doing it right. He's single. He's working all these gigs. He's making all this bank. He'll be retired by the time he's 40. And then he'll get married and have to go back to work to keep her up.
Yeah, that's why all these people talk about moving and doing this and that. I am not moving. I'm done.
There will be one more move for us, and that's
cemetery.
It'll be 2 more moves for us. One will be very much farther south from where we are at now. We've already got the house picked out, so we're good.
You moving to North Carolina?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
We'll buy her mother's house.
Okay. There you go.
Jake is a pimp. Mr. Sadie says Jake is a pimp.
It can't.
Goodness. Do I need to go check the chat? Larry, don't tell everybody.
What is Larry saying?
Jake is a pimp.
So the next book is go ahead and start. You got 3 or 4 weeks to read it. The E-Myth Revisited. It's about running a small business and
E-Myth. Okay.
The E-Myth Revisited. I think by Michael Gerber or last name is Gerber. I'm not sure about his first name.
Okay. I'll look it up and see if I can find it.
They don't even have it. Alabama's Libby sucks, by the way, because they don't have a copy of that. I mean, every time I look up something, they don't have it. You can write off the books if you read them for your business. Audible has been very, very nice. The one thing I like about Audible is so is that a restaurant or is that the house? The big
that's
house?
his corporate headquarters.
Is that the express?
It's the luxury Airbnb.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When I started,
I almost want to stay there.
I'm like,
Jesus,
that's got to be that house.
Yep. We've got guests checking in at 4:00, so I'm just over here just taking it easy and go do all the, double check everything.
What is the book again, Scott?
I just typed it in there. The E-Myth Revisited.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can find that.
So next month, I'm trying to choose between 2 books. It's either going to be 0 to 1 or it's going to be The Psychology of Money. One of the 2. Those are the next 2 books coming up. I just don't know what order they're in. I've had 3 or 4 people suggest The Psychology of Money. So, and then I keep 0 to 1 keeps popping up on everything I look at. So that's Peter Thiel. Hide more cameras. That's not he just manages that one. That's not his property.
There's a ton of cameras here though. There's let's see, 1.
That's an expensive property.
Yeah, there's 2 right in front of me. There's 1 over there. There's more that I don't even know where they are.
Because that one you can rent the outbuilding, you can rent the house, you can rent all kinds of stuff. That's a big property.
Or you can rent the whole property for $9.95 a night plus tax.
That's cheap.
$9.95.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm there.
Only for you.
$995.
Yep. It's got 5 bedrooms.
Yeah, it's a huge property. But the outhouse is a regular size house, right? Or pretty close. It's a big apartment.
It's a studio. It's small. It's about 1,000 square feet.
Yeah. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great week. Remember, you got Monday off. I have deemed it that no one has to do any shipping on Monday. I have declared this.
I'm taking Monday off.
I'll put this in law so that
Monday happens to be my anniversary, so
you can
I take my usual 4-day weekend.
I'll wave the magic Nara or whatever that thing is called. No shipping on Monday.
You got married on Memorial Day so you can remember your anniversary?
Who did that? Steve?
I still forgot. She had to remind me.
Uh-oh.
Off the
It wasn't Memorial Day when I got married because we went to the courthouse. So, bye. Sweetwater out.